new season at Stamford Bridge and the start of a new era too, as Enzo Maresca takes charge of a competitive Chelsea game for the first time. His and the Blues' assignment on opening weekend couldn't be any more challenging as champions Manchester City, Maresca's old employers, visit Stamford Bridge. City won the Premier League title for the 4th season in succession last term, and in doing so set a record for the top flight of English football. Familiar foes today then as the Enzo era kicks off in the West London sunshine. Let's take a check on the two teams then. Maresca's first Chelsea 11 features no debutants but several who feel like new signings. Wesley Fofana plays a Premier League game for the first time since the end of the 22-23 season. Romeo Lavia makes his first Blue start, and Christopher Nkunku just his third. Cole Palmer and Nicholas Jackson are in despite minimal pre-season minutes. 6 of Chelsea's 9 named substitutes are poised to make their Blues bow. City's sole summer signing, Savinho, makes his debut, but otherwise it's a fairly familiar lineup for Pep Guardiola's team, albeit it's a surprise to see Phil Foden on the bench. Former Blues Kovacic and De Bruyne are in from the off, and Erling Haaland, the only man to score more Premier League goals than Cole Palmer last season, leads the line. Here he is, Fernandes. Oh, that's a lovely ball for Malo Gusto, who's onside here. Palmer and Jackson, the targets in the middle. Couldn't get it past Guardiola, but Chelsea will have a corner.
That's unlucky, and that's Enzo Fernandes at his very best. Just reading the situation, his awareness is so good, he's such a good passer of the ball. Malo Gusto or Reece James down the right-hand side, they're always winning runners.
Corner was taken short and quickly. It's back with Palmer. And hook it in towards Wesley Fofana. They try to guide the volley beyond Edison, but couldn't quite keep it on target.
It's been promising though, isn't it, what we've seen, as you say, in the first couple of minutes. City came out, and Chelsea getting hold of the ball.
There's Guardiola finding Doku. Chalk on his boots over on that left-hand side. Oh, it's come through to Haaland. Can he get the shot away here? Erling Haaland begins the new season just as he finished the last and puts Manchester City ahead with 18 minutes on the clock. He'd hardly featured in the game up until that point, but the man who's won the Golden Boot in each of the last 2 seasons at English football's top flight has taken little to no time to get up and running for the new campaign. Chelsea 0, City 1.
Well, it's so disappointing because up until that stage, I think Enzo Maresca will be delighted with how his team have been playing so far against the Premier League champions. But this is what I talked about when you got the wingers who are now inverted. They're now looking to come inside. They've been allowed to come inside. And how can that be? But you just have to make yourself so difficult. You have to find a way to stop that guy.
Savinho trying to get away from Cucurella, moved it on to De Bruyne. He's looking to place one into the bottom corner. Sanchez will tell you he'd have saved that had it been on target.
Yeah, but you said that a moment ago, you can't afford to concede a second goal, and we can't. You can see the space again.
Lavia did really well there against De Bruyne. Here's Palmer. Can he affect the game from this position? Gave it out to Gusto. Jackson wants it played in early. It's cut back to Enzo Fernandes. That was a bit clumsy from Savinho. Fernandes asking the question of Anthony Taylor.
Well, there's a new directive that's come out now from the Premier League and the PGMOL about the referee's call. It's basically trying to be a light touch for VAR. Don't get involved unless it's a clear and obvious error.
Not sure there was a great deal in that between Akanji and Enzo Fernandes, but Chelsea got the free kick. And they've made a mess of it and given it away. And Doku can shoot here. Deflection makes it difficult. Brilliant save from Robert Sanchez to stop City from doubling their lead. He had to readjust quickly there, the Spaniard, and he managed to tip it over his bar.
He certainly did. I mean, Doku shouldn't have been allowed that amount of space there. Obviously, we gave the ball away first and foremost.
Now, Gusto wants it. Fofana goes outside to Palmer instead, and Gusto can get over halfway to help him out. Palmer up against De Bruyne. Floated a lovely ball deep for Christopher Nkunku. Nodded down for Jackson. Here's Enzo Fernandez. Straight into Akanji and behind for a corner, but that was really nicely worked by Chelsea.
Yeah, really good going forward. And that's what Chelsea need to do to try and get back in this game. Going from one side to the other, Cole Palmer on his left foot. It's a great ball in. It's a good header back, a layoff. You just have to say, very good defending from City.
Nkunku in to win it back. Jackson. Here's Palmer, any room for a shot for Cole Palmer. Got it on target, goalkeeper's lost it. Jackson 1-1, then the flag goes up. And for now at least, the joy is cut short. The referee's assistant was pretty certain on that. Let's see what they thought in Stockley Park.
Well, let's hope the ruler and pencil can show that Chelsea deserve to have the goal. Really good pressing, played inside. Yeah, he's just offside, isn't he? So frustrating if he's able to look along the line.
Javier and Fernandez swapping passes. Here's Palmer, certainly growing more into the game as it progresses, the former City man. And Enzo Fernandez, his touch was poor, but then he goes through, and that looked like a good claim for a penalty as well, and Anthony Taylor has a think. And then tells Fernandez to get to his feet.
The first touch initially not so good, but he wins the ball back. That for me is a foul. How is that not a foul?
It's incredibly clumsy from Ruben Diaz.
Yeah, look, his first touch isn't good, but he wins the ball back, and then he's past Diaz. He not only brings him down with his legs, but he puts his arm around him as well. That's a foul for me.
Doku one-on-one with Gusto. De Bruyne trying to feed that through for Bernardo Silva. Deflection took it his way. There's Haaland. Big chance. And by his standards, a very good chance. Sanchez, let's credit him with the save, but you'd have expected the Premier League's main man to have put that further in the corner and made it more difficult for the Chelsea keeper. Caicedo. Begged to be hit. Fernandez. That's teased across the face of goal, and only Rico Lewis prevents Pedro Neto from scoring seconds into his Chelsea debut. He's hurt himself in keeping the ball out of his team's net.
Fair play to Rico Lewis. Remember, he's not a right back, he's a midfielder.
Neto. Stood it up for Enzo Fernandez. Gusto hooks it back across. Palmer's in there, kept away from him. Back in from Lavia. There's Jackson. What a save from Ederson. Or did he even know anything about it? Well, the momentum is very much with the Blues now.
Brilliant, brilliant from Chelsea. So acrobatic there from Nicholas Jackson. I was wondering, I was waiting maybe for the flag to come up, but it didn't. So that's a very good save, reflex save from Ederson. Even if it's hit him, he's put himself in the right position.
Fernandez looking for the width of Gusto. Palmer short if he wants him. Here he is. Gave it back to Gusto. Great position here. He ought to have done a bit better than that. He might get another go. Now then, where did that hit Kovacic? Corner. Definitely struck him on his hand. He was centimetres away from the ball when it was kicked, though, so I'm not sure he could have done an awful lot about it.
No, he's not going to be given a penalty for that, for sure.
Nice clearance only up to Kovacic. Chelsea tiring, that could be dangerous. Kovacic in 2-0, and in all probability game over. The former Chelsea man who scored some belters at that end of the ground in his time as a Blues player. Reluctant to celebrate, but he may very well have won this game.
Well, I was just about to say, we're looking tired. There's a lot of tired-looking players out there. I'll tell you one player isn't, and that's Mateo Kovacic. The way he just nicked in, ran with the ball, went past one player, and then put that in the corner. He gets his hand to it. He's just got to be a bit stronger. All credit to Kovacic, one of the very few people with still amounts of energy in him.
Well, that is that for the first game of the season, which ends in defeat for Chelsea. A rarity that happens, but this is rare opposition that the Blues were facing today. The champions of England 4 seasons in a row, and the favourites to make it 5 on the bounce, have won by 2-0. Erling Haaland in the first, and former Blue Mateo Kovacic striking late on too. We are back to European football here on Thursday night, but it is defeat for Chelsea at the start of the Premier League campaign. It finished at Stamford Bridge. Chelsea 0, Manchester City 2.